Okay, so here I am working on the gauge cluster for my 2001 Mustang Bullet Edition. I bought these really nice chrome trim rings. I was kind of excited about putting them on. You can see a huge difference in the way it looks. I think it'll really set it off and kind of accentuate the throwback look of the gauge cluster in this car with the chrome instead of just black. Problem is, the kit I bought on eBay to do this with, it's kind of chintzy. They are plastic, chromed plastic, and they got these little notches on the back right here. You can barely see a little line right there, where supposedly the idea is they'll snap right in. Bada bing, bada boom, done. Nice, right? Yeah, no. They don't snap in. I don't know if it's because of the bevel that the instrument cluster has right here, this outer part, or what. Maybe that's not set back far enough for it to snap in all the way. But anyhow, kind of crappy. I wish I bought some from a more reputable place like American Muscle or something like that. I think what I'm going to end up doing is taking a knife, like an X-Acto knife or something, and cutting off this lip off each one, so they'll at least set in place and bottom out completely and not have like a raised part, like they're kind of fighting against sitting there. Once I got them where they'll sit in place, I'll just take a small little bit of super glue and stick it on the back corners, like here, top and bottom or something to hold it in place. That's my solution, trying to get by, but crappy stuff. The other thing is too, if you guys have ever had these gauge clusters apart, you know that this piece, the surround that goes around the actual cluster, has got a clear plastic cover that is glued to it. So their solution for that was, oh, you fish them through from the back and then they'll just snap right in. Woo, nice. Yeah, no, didn't work. So I fit with it a little bit until I could finally get it cut loose, you know, but ended up messing up my clear part that goes over the top of this a little bit too. So it'll be okay, I'll get by. But yeah, stay away from the ones on eBay. They're kind of chintzy. Okay, so I used my trusty little X-Acto knife. I got them all cut where they fit and sit in there nice and flush, not sticking out or protruding or anything like that. So next step for me is going to be getting some super glue or something and glue them in so that they don't come out of place. Okay, so another short video about my chrome trim rings for my 2001 Bullet that I put on. These are the eBay ones that did not snap in like they were supposed to, so I ended up trimming the raised portions on the sides, on the back, that's supposed to snap in, the little ledges. Trimmed them off with an X-Acto knife, and then got them to where they just laid right in here nice and easy, and used some Gorilla Glue. I used the gel. Just got home and started to put it all back together, and I noticed that the trim rings right around the chrome part here had some funny looking little, I don't know, discolorations, like some stains on them. I took just some regular little glass wipes, kind of wiped over it nice and easy. Of course, I had this off of my gauge cluster at that point. Not real happy with that. I think it was the, I don't know if it was fumes from the Gorilla Glue, super glue product, or what, because the trim rings are plastic and they're just chrome plated. So anyhow, it wiped off enough to the point where I think it's going to look decent. We'll go ahead and finish the install in the car. And there it is, completed. Everything's installed. The trim rings got all back in place. I did have a slight issue when I was taking the cover off the gauge cluster, the clear plastic piece, getting it broke loose from the black housing in the back. I ended up cracking it right here. But it's not really visible from back here. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. I may end up getting another gauge cluster at some point and just pulling the black piece out and taking the cover off of it, swapping covers out. But for now, I think it definitely looks a lot better than it did before. Ford should take a note. This way it should have came. The whole idea behind a bullet is to resemble, with slight styling cues, the '68 Mustang from the movie Bullet. So that would have definitely helped, because we know there was a lot of chrome incorporated in the cars back then. Anyhow, that's my install. I hope it helps somebody.